Welcome to another episode of Driving While Black Podcast. I am your boy, Akino Ladisu.
And I'm Chuck Tees.
What's up, Chuck? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm feeling good today, man.
Oh,
feeling
yes.
good today.
Yes.
This Jada got me amped right now.
Got you hype, right? Ready to go at 7 in the morning. Ready to kill the game. Man, thank y'all for riding with us once again. This is episode 14. Driving While Black Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, we are a platform for our black and brown people. We created this platform to discuss a lot of the issues within our communities. We use it as a form of therapy to kind of air out our grievances. But not only that, we also want to uplift and celebrate our black and brown people because we are, amazing and we are doing amazing things. So we created this platform for us, man.
Most definitely.
So, how was your week, my brother? How was your week?
Man, my week was good, man. I'm just looking forward to the weekend because I'm headed out to Big Bear.
Oh, nice, man. A little vacation?
Yeah, a little small vacay. You know, get away from this craziness.
For sure. You've been in Big Bear before, right?
Yeah, I actually went last winter.
Okay, I've never been there. Been there.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just a pain in the ass driving there because it takes about an hour from here to get to the mountain, but it takes about an hour to get up there.
To get up the mountain, you have to go like super slow, huh?
You have to go slow and you're just around and around and around.
It's not snowing or anything, though, huh?
No, it's cool right now. It's like 75 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So hopefully we might get on a boat or something.
Cool. You know how to get vaccinated to go to Big Bear?
I better not.
Seem like you gotta get vaccinated to go anywhere these days, but
man,
we'll talk about that a little bit later. But again, thank y'all for riding with us. What you want to get into, man? Should we get into this locks?
I think we should just jump right in it because we feeling the energy right now.
Oh man, I absolutely loved it. Love this verses. This was my favorite verses by far. My second favorite verses was when Jada battled Fab.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
That one. He went viral for that one. That one was fire. He completely washed Fab. So you know, Jada's the 2-time defending champ right now. Jada is the man right now.
All I know is he was ready.
Oh,
Jada was ready.
He was war ready.
Jada
wasn't playing around.
He brought that energy.
Yeah,
they was in a cypher in hoodies in 30-degree weather outside in New York.
Yeah,
he was
like
ready.
He was battling to get on like at the start of his career. He wasn't playing around.
No, he wanted all the smoke.
Yeah, but growing up, who did you rock with more, the Locks or Dipset?
Yeah, that's tough, yo, because I'm a West Coast cat. So from a distance, obviously you heard. Well, I heard Dipset more. They had more anthems. You know what I mean? Right. They was on the radio. You know, I liked Joel Santana had a decent run for me out of the crew, and then Jim Jones. A lot of people fucked with Cameron out here, but for some reason back then, like, I wasn't Cameron's biggest fan.
Yeah.
You know, so
understandable.
The Locks though, I knew they had bars.
Yeah.
You know, but just a West Coast cat. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really up on it like probably most folks were.
Yeah, you was playing 213 before this.
Right.
I'm like, man, we gotta play some East Coast stuff. We about to go into these verses, but. Yeah, I'm from Toronto, so I'm not from America, obviously, but, you know, we neighbor New York City or New York State, so, you know, we were all about that East Coast, you know, that Big E, that Jay-Z, the Dipset, the Locks, G-Unit. So, man, I was super excited about this versus.
Yeah, those other folks you just mentioned, we was on them.
Yeah, okay.
Jay-Z, Big E, G-Unit, 50, like, 100%.
Yeah.
But Dipset, it was just a different vibe for me, and I never been in New York, so it's like, you know, certain things I just like, all right, I'll probably get it if I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I was super excited about this versus. So I think I have a lot to say on this. But
take it away.
Yeah, my wife was just looking at me all types of crazy because I was over there in the corner on the couch, just on the computer, like just jamming out, laughing, smiling. I had a good old time. But yeah, being from Toronto, Dipset was a big influence, was huge. You know, the Locks growing up too was huge. You know, me and my friends listened to Jada, the Locks, you know, DMX, Rough Riders. That was a big influence. So I think I didn't really have the conversation with people too much about it. I was just super excited about the verses, but I think going in, a lot of people thought Dipset was gonna take it.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah,
I would have thought.
Yeah, and I think mainly just because their influence on the culture, the way they spoke, was really good. Like just how they brought that slang to the culture, the way they dressed, even the way they rapped. Like the way Cameron rapped was different from how anyone was really rapping. The way Joel Santana was really rapping.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, understandably, thought Dipset was gonna take it, but I didn't know, but I knew because I saw Jada and Fab. I'm like, Jada is a marksman. He's a lyricist. He's a craftsman. This is what he does. Like, I was rooting for the Locks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Cameron. I remember Cameron because he made it cool to wear pink.
Yeah.
That's what I remember most about Cameron, because I was like, I want to say it was like middle school for me. I want to say it was middle school. I remember when cats was coming in, they was wearing pink tees with a black tee underneath, rolling up their sleeves.
Whatever they could do to throw some pink on,
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, y'all Cameron fans.
Yeah.
Off rip.
Yep.
But the one thing I like Cameron for was he did that movie. Paid in Full.
Yeah.
I liked his character I feel like that character on the movie was him.
Oh, for sure.
So I was like, all right, I fuck with Cameron in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I kind of got his vibe, and I was like, all right, I see it.
That super New York vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But back to the verses though, man. I watched it, and big disappointment that these cats was really like rhyming over the lyrics.
No,
and
we got to break it down from the beginning, because I have a whole breakdown.
Man, break it down. Break it down for the people.
So Dipset, in my opinion, Dipset lost before the thing even started.
Okay.
Because, like we said, we know Cam for wearing pink. We know Dipset for their slang, for their style, the way they dressed, that whole thing, right? I was expecting Cam to pull up in a pink fur, pink range, them to come out just on that super New York, Harlem, boastful, swagged out, type of time.
Mm-hmm.
And they barely came out on time, and they didn't even come out together.
Right.
You had the Locks come out, and literally I seen a video after, like, just a few days ago, and the Locks were getting ready to come out. Jada was right in the middle, Styles P was in the front, Sheik was in the back, and they were like this close to each other. Just like militant,
lock and step,
in unison.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they didn't do nothing special. They just came out, did their thing, stood up there. And then when it was time for Dipset to come out, everyone was waiting. Like, where they didn't, to the point where I think Sheik Lou said, "Yo, tell them niggas hurry up. Like, get them out here." At that point, I'm like, oh no, the gloves is off.
Here we go.
Where are these niggas? And then they came out. Jimmy came out with Jewels. Came out real regular. And then everyone, yo, where's Cam at? So off a rip, I'm like, y'all was supposed to come out and steal the show.
They could have.
That's what I was waiting for. Y'all was supposed to come out, and everyone was supposed to be like, oh, like Cam should have pulled up in a pink range, all that, like
Dipset,
exactly,
Dipset.
like,
Yeah,
and they missed their moment to shine. I think Jewels looked crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was.
I was like, that's Jewel? Like, what is he doing? What's he doing?
I don't know. It looked like he got dressed in the dark.
Yeah, I was like, where's his bandana? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, towards the end of the show, he had the black tee with the bandana. I'm like, all right, that's the Jewels we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I'm like, yo, what is this?
It's because those cats are like known for specific things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you thought they would bring that out to go on top of their character. Exactly. Like, this is who we are.
Exactly. Jewels with the bandana, that's nostalgic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would have brought a lot of dudes back. I never worn my shit like that, but a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Right.
Cam with the pink,
with
like
the pink, right?
You know what I mean? And then Jimmy's just Jimmy. I think they missed their moment, because that's what they're known for. I think they missed their moment to shine. And again, like, Jewels looked crazy. He looked like he got dressed in the dark. Cam, he didn't have that pink on,
Yeah, so hey, off rip, they wasn't shining the brightest off the rip.
Cam looked like he forgot about the verses. It looked like he needed a haircut. Like they just
it was like on some whatever.
He didn't give a fuck. He even brought a beach chair out. Like, you can't bring a beach chair out when you go into battle somebody.
And I think the biggest part about it was there's an audience. You know what I mean? Bro. Like, so it's like, bro, you're performing.
Yeah.
Like, you're performing in front of a crowd. Like, right. You know?
Like, what are you doing sitting on a beach chair? Especially against the Locks. Like, I think y'all really underestimated who the Locks are and who Jadakiss is. And they was going back and forth on the internet before the Verzuz. Mainly Dipset. I think they were just clowning them, but I think they really underestimated who these guys were, man.
Probably, man, because But the thing is y'all from New York. Like, you gotta know.
They
know what I mean?
They know, but I think sometimes when you're in your own bubble and you have your own career and your own influence, you think, well, we're Dipset. We're the shit. Like, we got New York. We're Harlem, you know? So you assume that, man, these guys are just street dudes. Because even Cam said in the beginning, y'all not even from here. We home. We in Manhattan. Because they from Yonkers. And Yonkers is not considered one of the I think 5 boroughs. So they already have that, you know, that kind of ego of like, yo, this is New York. We're home. We're in the Madison Square Garden.
You know what would be dope now that this happened? Yeah. That now that you had Dipset versus the Locks, now we need like the Locks versus Terror Squad. Yeah. Or like Terror Squad versus G Unit, which will never happen.
Like whoever wins just keeps
like
advancing?
all the group, yeah, exactly, like a tournament style for like who the real kings in New York. Like right. Do it on the Verzuz.
Yeah. Why you say the Locks and G Unit would never happen?
Because G Unit, they don't fuck with each other, so they wouldn't happen.
Fuck with each other.
No, it'd have to be 50 and Banks because, you know, Game and Buck ain't from New York.
I don't think Game got to really be in it. I think
Game wouldn't be in it, but Buck, you know, they're just not cool, so it wouldn't work. It'd have to be like a 1-on-1 type of thing.
Yeah.
Like Fat Joe versus 50 or 50 versus Ja Rule.
Yeah.
We'd love to see that.
50 versus Ja. Oh, that would never happen.
It would never happen.
They already talked.
Because that would be super disrespectful.
Yeah, I think Swiss already brought it up. I think Ja Rule might have been down for it, but when they asked him, he's like, hell no, that ain't happening.
I'm not getting on stage with this nigga.
Yeah, that beef is seems like it'll never die. But yeah, man, back to these cats. Yeah, I mean they were just ready. Even when they got up on stage when Dipset finally came out, they was talking their shit. Jada was just standing there, like I'm just waiting to tear y'all heads off. And you know, Cam started popping this shit like, we home. You all kick it off. Y'all home. We home. Y'all ain't even from here. And then Jada saw his opportunity. He said, Cam, you live in Miami. And then he said, yo, Tech, drop that. And he played fuck you. If you hope we want to make it, fuck you. And that just set the tone. We're like, all right, this shit's about to
get real.
About to get real. And then, like I said, in my opinion, the Locks won before the shit even started with that whole just the coming out, the way they opened up with the first record, and then from there it was just record. I don't have personally, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I don't have Dipset winning the round. In my personal opinion.
No, because I was seeing on the internet, they was like, did Dipset come back with Ballin'?
No.
And I'm like, nah, bro, they was ad-libbing the song.
No. And I give it to Jimmy because I think Jimmy has held down Dipset for the last probably like 10 years. He's been, you know, making some good music and spitting his ass off. And I think he kind of took control of the Verzuz at some point. But I think it was too late by then.
Oh, yeah.
It was too late. Cam is the leader. We all see Cam and know Cam as a leader. The fact that he came out later, came out real regular, wasn't really in the forefront, just kind of like put them at a disadvantage. Jewels was running around being crazy. Freaky Zeke was running around being weird. Like, I was just like, yeah, it was all bad. It was all bad, and yeah, these dudes was ready.
Dog, I don't think I want to see Dipset again. Like, I don't want to see them on the Verzuz. I don't want them to do a second attempt to try to like make up for it. Like, nah, y'all fucked up.
It was bad because I was texting my friends. I was like, oh shit, like they're getting exposed. Like, Dipset's getting exposed. Like, this is bad. Like, it was funny. I was in the gym a little bit after, and I was listening to Locks, listening to like New York hip hop, and like a Dipset song. I just turned it. I looked at the next song.
Like, nah, next.
I'm like, I can't do it, man. Y'all weren't prepared at all.
No, I was just so disappointed, bro. Like on top of Jada already said, like, they rhyming over the lyrics, but they're ad-libbing and letting the lyrics just go. Like, they letting their song play, and they just ad-libbing the song. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all, what are you doing?
And again, the words wrong. They was literally like a few bars behind, like, just getting the shit, like...
It's like they didn't even practice.
Like y'all just...
Y'all didn't dust off the cobwebs before y'all got on stage, like...
But y'all was, weeks prior, y'all were making videos, clowning them, making jokes. It's like, bro, why don't you just get into the fucking...
They tried to hype it up, but ended up looking stupid.
Disappointment. But I'm glad the Locks, prepared, and, they said they rehearsed for a couple days, because they really brought the show, man. That's impressive. That show, that really displayed, like, their brotherhood and how much they were in sync. And, like, literally you had moments where Styles P was over there fucking with Cam, and Jada was rhyming his Styles P's verses. Like, did he not only know all of his parts and verses and lyrics, they knew each other's.
They're interchangeable.
So that was like mad, super.
That showed their craftsmanship right there. Like, they were, this is a sport.
This
at
is
the end
like
of the day.
20 plus years, I think even more, of just grinding and hard work, and not giving up, and just staying 10 toes down. And I want to say, Jada has been in my top 5 rappers dead or alive forever. And I was thinking about it, because I'm like, yo, Jada's been in my top 5, and then I went over my top 5 is Jay-Z or Biggie interchangeably, and then Jada. And I'm a hip hop dude, but I don't think I have a top 5.
I was just about to say, what's your top 5?
I don't think.
Is it all New York?
Maybe, probably, but I don't think I have a top 5. My top 3 that I could think of is Biggie, Jay, and Jada. And then if I throw another 2 in there, it would just be just for the sake of throwing another 2. But I don't really, they're not like my favorite rappers.
Okay.
Who are your top 5?
Ooh, that's tough, yo. Like, yeah, it is tough. It is tough. Obviously gonna be opposite of yours. Actually, I'm gonna put Jay's in there. I don't have an order.
Okay.
Jay's in there for me. Pac is in there for me. Damn.
Snoop. Cube. So you
tough.
You said Jay, Pac so far?
Jay and Pac for sure. I feel like I gotta throw Snoop in there, because I've been listening to Snoop since I couldn't even remember.
Yeah.
So like Snoop is like default. Like, Snoop is in there on default.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw in a new guy. I'm gonna throw Kendrick.
Okay.
And
if we throwing in new guys, okay, I would throw Kendrick in there too.
Damn. And I would say, just for like the last 10 years, along with Kendrick, I'll put Nipsey in there.
Okay.
From Bullets Ain't Got No Name all the way to, to Victory Lap. He slapped.
See, with me, so those are my certified top 3, Jay, Big, and then Jada. I've been rocking with Jada. Just his lyricism, his freestyles, just crazy. The uniqueness of his voice, just all of that. And then if I were to like look for some other dudes, I would throw Kendrick in there. But I'm like, at this point, I'm like, does Kendrick have enough material? And he's been gone for so long. That's another topic of conversation.
Okay. Oh,
Kendrick,
hold on.
where you at, bro?
I get that. Yeah, Kendrick, what are you doing, bro?
Where you at?
But on the note of enough material, Biggie got 2 albums.
Yeah. You right.
So we can't really say that, because Kendrick got 4 solid ones.
But my thing is, he has 2 albums in such a short period of time, and then he passed, where you can't control that. And the level of his impact, 20 some odd years later, 20 plus years later, that's a point. Whereas Kendrick, you're still here, bro. You're still able to make music, and you've been gone for what?
4 years? 2017, right? Damn.
It's like, bro.
Yeah,
it's
he's slipping right now.
But I will, based on what he's done thus far, I'll throw him in my top 5. I love Nipsey to death. Not in my top 5 though. Not in my top 5, but top 2 albums of all time: Reasonable Doubt and Victory Lap.
Okay. Can't go wrong throwing either one of those albums in the car.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
In the car,
Absolutely.
You good.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Biggie, y'all, I just watched an interview. I probably shouldn't be watching this nigga, but I watched a Vlad interview. He was interviewing Mob James, and Mob James basically was like, "Yo, this cat named Poochie was the one that killed Biggie."
I don't know who Poochie is.
I don't know who Poochie is, but apparently he was a part of Death Row. He was like one of the hitters.
Yeah.
And Vlad was like, "Yo, if you were to place a bet on who killed Biggie, Mob James was like, yeah, I would hit if I chose Poochie."
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. So it's like, damn, now it's out there 25 plus years later. The names of the people who killed Biggie and Tupac are out there.
Haven't they been out there though?
They have, to a point, but I'm talking about on the internet. You have like all these.
Hasn't it been on the internet too though?
The dude who killed Pac has been on the internet for a while.
Okay.
Because it's been out there after these cats died. Like, both the people that killed Pac and Biggie, they're both dead. So it's like,
really?
now they're dead, so it's like,
Okay.
all right,
Okay.
now you can say their names, type of shit.
And they were both LA gangbangers.
I'm not gonna say LA gangbangers, but they was in the streets. I'm not gonna speak on what they were. I don't know. I don't know what they were.
Yeah.
But speaking off the interview, they was both hitters.
But both from LA.
Both from the West Coast, LA, yeah.
I think that whole thing has just been like, there's been so many conspiracies, so many documentaries, so many people saying, yo, it was me. It's just, for me personally, it's like I've lost, not interest, but it's like it doesn't really, and this is just me being a fan, right? Obviously to their families it matters, but it's just like, man, we just lost 2 legends. They've made, at such a young age, they've made such a huge impact, and they continue to make an impact where it's like, does it even matter who killed them? They're gone.
No, it just adds to the story.
Yeah,
it fills in the missing puzzle pieces to the story.
For sure, but I think it's just been so much back and forth for years, where it's like, man, we don't know, we'll never know. There's people that do know. Mm-hmm. There's people connected and tied in that know, that are a part of those politics. But for me personally, just being a fan, I just know that, Biggie, I love Biggie, just his lyricism, the whole bad boy, East Coast, the style, the wittiness, all that. I love all that. So the shiny suits, to bring it back to, Jada and the Locks, they were signed to Bad Boy, so they were part of that with Mace and all that. So
speaking on that topic, back to the Verzuz.
Yeah.
One moment that stuck out to me was when the Locks, I think they're just playing that song right there, and after the song, Cam goes, "That's not even your fucking song. That's Diddy's song. I'm expecting Diddy to pop out.
Yeah.
Where Diddy at?"
Yeah.
And Jada's like, "Those is my bars, nigga. Those is my bars." Yeah. How do you feel about, even though he wrote it, how do you feel about him rapping that song?
Oh, I think it's, bro, if
it's fair?
Of course, because if he wrote the shit, that's his shit. Like, he's on there display. The Verzuz is to display your impact and influence on the game. At one point, Bad Boy was at the top of hip hop and the rap game. Diddy is one of the top moguls in music, period. Mm-hmm. If you are saying, yo, one of the biggest, most classic records, I wrote that, hell yeah, I'm gonna come out and spit that. Like, at that point, Cam, you just reaching for something But it's like, bruh. And Jada did that in the Fab Verzuz. That's when we found out he wrote that for Puff.
Oh, he did that same song?
He did that same song. Are we talking about All About the Benjamins?
Yeah.
Yeah, he already said that. He already addressed that.
Okay.
So
I didn't see that one, so I didn't know.
Yeah, and people were like shocked and giving him kudos then. Like, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? And I saw someone posted in the Instagram, like the comments, Diddy said, yeah, he wrote that for me. Like, no ego, he just said,
confirmed.
Yeah, Jada wrote that verse for me. That's Jada's verse. So, like, that, Cam was just like losing the fight, someone losing the fight, so they crying. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
He had to throw a stone real quick.
Man, you're just giving him another check mark because it's like, yo, yeah, hell yeah, bro. He's like, them my bars. Yeah, whoever you wrote for. And that just kind of added to their story and their legacy because even I saw the Locks interview on the Breakfast Club, and Styles P was saying that I didn't notice he wrote for Kanye West.
Styles did?
Oh
shit.
He said he wrote a lot of shit for Kanye West.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and Style and I remember Kanye flew the Locks out to after the verses that he flew him out to his the Donda show
to the stadium.
Yeah, to the stadium. But speaking of moments that one moment I was debating talking about this, but one moment that stuck out to me. And shout out to Jim Jones because again, Jim Jones been holding down Dipset for like 10 plus years, making good music. But this dude played, I think the song's called G's Up. G's Up, hose down. If the bitch can't swim, she gonna drown. I love that song. That record's crazy. But Max B is on the chorus. Max B's all over the chorus. Jim Jones' verse is fire, but it's a Max B record, really. It's a Jim Jones record, but it's Max B on the chorus. Max B makes that song. For you to play that in the verses and y'all beefing, I was like, bro, you can't do that, bro. Because I've literally seen interviews with Jim Jones and they ask him about Max B and he literally says, respectfully, I don't want to talk about that. Next question. So when I saw that, I'm like, bro, if you can't even talk about Max B in the interview, why are you on stage at Madison Square Garden while homies locked up, y'all beefing, playing a record with him? Violation. And you saw Jada and Styles.
Throw the flag.
Red flag. And you saw Jada and Styles even call him out on him a little bit. You could tell they wanted to say more, but he's like, yo, y'all bringing Max B out of jail? Like, what y'all doing? Because you can't do that. Y'all on record to this day have beef. Y'all don't fuck with each other. You can't come on there and play his record. Yeah. That's cheating.
That's a flag. That's a flag. So, man, at the end of the day, bro, the Locks, I think they knocked him out. It was KO.
The Locks washed him.
It was a KO.
It was a KO. I don't have a point for Dipset. I don't have a point for Dipset. I didn't want to hear no Dipset after that.
Tombstone.
Yeah, so shout out the Locks, man. Shout out the Verzuz. That was an incredible show. Just seeing all of New York in the building too. You saw Carmelo there.
Yep, Fat
Joe there. You saw some execs from Rock Nation and Rockefeller there and shit like that. Yeah. It was cool, man. It was a good vibe. I enjoyed it.
It was definitely live.
Yeah.
But on to this next one. I think you briefly mentioned Kanye. And this Donda album that's supposed to drop whenever. What's the deal with that, man? You excited for this album?
Man, I'm not a Kanye fan like that, honestly. I've never been a Kanye fan. I respect Kanye's I respect Kanye as an artist. You have to. He's an icon at this point. He's a legend at this point. I just personally never really liked him like that. And I think the main I didn't really like his voice, the tone of his voice.
Okay.
But so I'm not excited. To answer your question, I'll check it out when it comes, but I'm not, one of those Kanye like fanatics. Like, I'm just like, yeah. When it comes out, cool.
Jesus don't walk.
Yeah, nah. And I love a lot of his records, Through the Wire,
Old Kanye.
Jesus Walks. Kanye's made a lot of classic records, but I'm not like a Kanye, you know.
I don't look at him as like a. I just look at him as an entertainer.
Yeah.
I don't look at him like a rapper, like Jada. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's not Jada. He's a artist, an entertainer.
He's an artist. He's an entertainer. He's a creative
showman.
He's a creative, and I think that's why I like. That's why I have Jay, Biggie, and Jada in my top 5, top 3 because they're rappers. Like they're lyricists. You know what I mean? I think that's what I gravitate towards too more. Whereas Kanye is more of a creative, like, you know, with the clothing and just him even putting on this I don't even know what to call it, this show. I saw someone comment like, don't y'all get it? Like, he's not releasing the album. Like, and it seems like this is the album.
Pump faking y'all right now.
It's funny because I remember I went on like a work trip. I went to St. Louis, and then when I came back, Shelby picked me up from the airport, and she's like, I got a surprise for you. She's like, I called into the radio and I wanted tickets to a Kanye West show. I was like, you really? Word? I'm like, that's dope. That's fire. It was at the Forum in Inglewood. So we go, and bro, all it is like a music video release show.
You doing a video?
Bro, so literally all it was, it's when he dropped, what is it, The Life of Pablo?
Okay.
It was literally the whole time he kept looping and repeating that one song with I think Future and Rihanna. I forget how it goes, but it just kept looping, and then the peak of the show was him releasing a music video on a big screen.
So he didn't play nothing else?
Bro, that's it. He didn't perform nothing. The Kardashians were there in the front row. He came out, didn't address the crowd. He was just there, and we saw his music video premiere.
Maybe that's why the tickets are free.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck,
I came here for a show.
I went to that shit. So, I think that's just what he does. I think he just finds ways to. He's just a creative person. Like I don't think he can help himself. Like, you know, I think from what I've heard, this album is not even finished. It's not even mixed or mastered. He just has to let people hear it, and he just has to be Kanye, man. He has to be different.
I haven't heard nobody be like, yo, Ye got some crazy, like, I ain't heard none of that.
Right.
It was just like, yeah, Donda, you know, it was dope.
Right.
Nobody's like really like jocking it.
And that's my thing. It would be so much crazier if, imagine he was doing that, all of that in a stadium and doing these release, and the album was fire. Then it would be like, this dude's a GOAT and an icon. But it's like, if the music is mid, and just mediocre, and you're doing all this, it's like, Kanye, bro, like, you could just release the album. Like, yeah. You know? But this is Kanye. This is why he's Kanye West, is because he does wild shit like this.
Yeah. I'll give it my ear, but I'm not like anticipating it like I would be like if Kendrick was about to drop.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick's about to drop, I'm like, come on, nigga, like, what's up?
Drop
it. But Ye, like, yeah.
And because
Kendrick's coming with it.
You're gonna get a quality project from Kendrick when he drops. Kanye, it seems like as of lately, or as of his last few projects, it's all the shit behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, the music is like, all right, whatever, but then it's all the other shit behind it that gets you talking about it. So I'm not really excited to see it. Apparently he's doing another show in Chicago on the 26th or the 28th. So people are at this point would rather just hear the music. So
I wouldn't be paying for a show that I don't know what I'm about to hear.
Yeah.
You playing the new album or what?
Or what? And the thing too is they're saying the music is not even like mixed and mastered. So it's like it's you could tell it's not done, it's not clear, it's not high quality, you know? So it's like But that's the thing about Kanye. His influence is so impactful.
People gonna listen to it anyway.
People gonna pay whatever tickets. Is it a free event or you gotta pay? I think you gotta pay.
I don't even know, bro.
But it don't matter. People are gonna hype it up. People are gonna go. People are gonna support him, which is cool. But like, I'm not into all the other shit. It's like
he's a billionaire now. He ain't worried about the music like that.
Just give me the music. And he was what? He's renting out the stadium in Atlanta.
The Mercedes Benz stadium, right? Yep.
I heard something crazy like, did they say 100,000 a day or something like that?
100 people? 100,000 people?
No, it costs 100 because he's living. In
Oh, yeah.
It's like 100,000 a day.
That ain't nothing to him.
But yeah, that's Kanye, man. That's what he does. I wish he would just get back to like the music.
He just, his hands is in too many pots. Like he's not just all focused on music trying to prove. He ain't got to prove nothing. You know? He don't. So I think that's why his music is whatever. Like this last album, you know, he was on his, you know, Christian tip, you know, with the album, and I gave it a listen, and I never listened to it again. Yeah.
But I mean, I like The Life of Pablo. I think it was.
Well, that was before this last one, and yeah, Life of Pablo. It was cool. Life of Pablo was cool. It was like cool. You know, but the album before that
was Yeezus.
Was he? No, what was he Yeezus?
I think it was. I don't know.
Yeezus grew on me.
Oh, it did?
Yeezus grew on me over time.
I don't even think.
But it wasn't like all the greatest. The album before that, which was My Dark Twisted Fantasy, I fucked with that album.
Yeah, that was a good album. That was a good album for sure. But that's Kanye. I don't really got too much to say about him.
Cool. Kanye, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
But talking about billionaires, just want to shout out Riri real quick. Forbes announced that she is now officially a billionaire. So that is the definition of thriving while black. Shout out to Riri doing her thing, getting this money out here, man. She's the highest earning or wealthiest female artist of all time.
Yeah,
that's a big feat. That's fine.
Yeah, she blew past Beyonce.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm sure everyone thinks this way, but it's the first thing you hear that it's like, how would Beyonce feel about that?
Yeah.
Like, where you at?
Yeah, like that's interesting because Riri has like a makeup line, right?
She has Fenty. So I think she does lingerie. I think she might do perfume too. She does makeup. I think she does like loungewear clothing. Yep. I think she does a lot. Like Fenty, I think is become a big like household like name brand like Fenty, like, you know. I think she had a collab with Puma at one point. I think Fenty might have had a collab with Puma. So yeah, Fenty's big. Fenty's big.
Shout out to Rihanna.
Yeah, shout out to Rihanna.
Billionaire.
Doing her thing. Yeah.
Man.
That's crazy.
It's pretty quick. She came in the game like
in the early 2000s.
Was it early 2000s? Was it?
Must have been.
Like 2007?
With Ponder Replay, she got signed to Rockefeller.
Man, so she came a billionaire in less than 15 years?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's funny because I remember when she came in the game with Ponder Replay. One of my homies back in Toronto, I think he was in the music video. I think she might have shot it in Toronto or whatever. But yeah, she's one of those artists where I remember distinctly the beginning of her career.
Yeah, I remember that song
because she was such a, I don't know, maybe she
had more of an accent.
She had an accent. She was just unique. She was different. Rihanna, even the name, she was just different. Like, she came in the game making a statement. Like, you know, like people noticed her right away. And damn, she never really stopped since. She made hits. She made music. She became Beyonce-like in terms of becoming like an icon, just through her, you know, her persona.
They ever did a song together?
That's a good question. I don't think they have. Or if they have, there might have been like other people on the song where it wasn't just them.
Like they went in the studio, like, let's make a song.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think they have, and I wonder why.
Maybe Jay has something to do with it.
That's interesting though. But I think sometimes when you have artists that are like Rihanna is is Rihanna. Like, you know what I mean? Beyonce's Beyonce. So when you have artists of that caliber, I think sometimes they.
But even on her come up though, even on Rihanna's come up, they didn't have a song.
But I think to kind of what I was saying, like she came in the game and we took heed, where it's like she knew, like, yo, I'm Rihanna, like. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of times people do songs with other people to kind of elevate and advance their career. If I want to do a Beyonce song, it's like, because, you know what I mean? I want that Beyonce level of success and notoriety. It's like, if I'm Rihanna, I don't need that. I'm Rihanna.
Well, she did songs with everybody else.
That is a fact.
Drake,
but I think doing a song with Beyonce kind of says that, you know what I mean? It kind of paints that picture of maybe I need Beyonce, maybe, whereas her standing on her own is her standing on her own, you know? She don't need that cosign. I don't know why they didn't do a song together, but it is kind of weird that they haven't. But the fact that she's been able to elevate to this billionaire status, been in this game this long, and hasn't done a song with Beyonce, and I think they've performed together. I've seen them on stage before. You know, the whole Jay-Z Rockefeller tie. I'm sure they're family and close, but that is interesting.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
Definitely. Shout out to Reed, man. That's dope.
Shout out to Reed. That is
billionaire real quick. That was the quickest billionaire.
That was
That's pretty. That's man.
That's fire. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to Thriving While Black in these streets, man. Someone that isn't thriving right now though, is your boy, the baby.
Oh man.
He is under fire right now for his comments at Rolling Loud in Miami. They trying to get him up out of here, man. They trying to cancel his ass.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, bro.
But what he said, if you've been living under a rock, he was at Rolling Loud, and that part of the show, you know, where rappers talk they shit just to get the crowd hype and engaged. He said some offensive stuff. He said, what did he say? He said, if you don't have a disease, an STD, where you're gonna die in the next 2-3 weeks, like AIDS, make some noise. That's what which makes no sense, right? Then he went on to say, if you wasn't sucking no D in the parking lot before you got in here, make some noise, which is random. He said, ladies, if your pussy smell like water, make some noise. Blah 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 blah. He went on to. So, of course, the internet's picked it up and said, this guy's toxic, this guy's offending the LGBTQ community. We got to get him out of here.
Whoa. Bruh.
So, what are your thoughts, man?
Why? Bro, it's hip-hop. At the end of the day, yeah, it's a show. He's saying what he want to say, but you should be able to say what you want in music. Like, it's entertainment. You know, like, and the fact that anybody can just come in.
Freedom of speech?
Yeah, and anybody could just come in and be like, I'm offended. We need to cancel you. Like, bro, that shit is whack.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't. Cancel, no. Like, people are going to stop listening to Baby because LGBTQ is offended. Like, okay, LGBTQ, don't listen to him.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're offended by him, y'all cancel him.
Yeah.
But you're not trying to get everybody to cancel him. Like,
right.
Yeah, that was some weird shit he said. Like, he didn't have to say it, but right. That causes to be canceled.
Right.
So, like, can the straight community cancel people now? Can we cancel Lil Nas X because he did that weird shit in the damn video with the devil? He had a lap dance by the devil. Can we cancel him? Straight community, let's cancel Lil Nas X. He on some weird shit.
Well, I think,
you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid.
I don't think it's only the LGBTQ community trying to cancel. I think people just in general are trying to cancel him first.
Like who?
Madonna.
She's probably with that.
I'm saying there's people that are not LGBTQ that just feel like his what he said was offensive, that are trying to cancel him. You know what I'm saying?
But hip hop is offensive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's like Madonna, you're not in hip hop.
Right.
Elton John, you're not in hip hop. Did you not see the verses?
Right.
That wasn't disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is stupid.
Right.
Let these people that are not in hip hop try to come into hip hop and tell us who we should cancel.
Right.
No, hip hop should need to tell hip hop who we should cancel. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is whack.
So I think what he said, first of all, when I heard it, my friend came. I already heard it, but he's like, "Yo, the baby's up out of here." And at first I'm like, bro, what he said was stupid. Like, what he said was stupid, made no sense, was random. But I think he'd be all right. It's like not that deep, not that serious. Like, he'll bounce back. I think for me, the main frustration was just like, bro, here we go again, like trying to cancel somebody. Like, how many times are we gonna try to cancel somebody for some shit they said? Like, some people, granted, should be canceled. Like, child molesters, rapists, murderers, rapists. Yeah, let's get them the fuck out of here. Let's cancel them and throw them in jail. Bro, he said some shit in the heat of the moment on a stage. Let's talk about it. Let's maybe, let him know why what he said was offensive and yeah. But this whole trying to cancel people, I think, speaks to something, bigger in our society. But so I told my friend, I'm like, yo, he'll be all right. But he issued an apology video,
which took a while. He wasn't apologizing at first. He was doubling down at first.
So that's what I'm talking about, the double down video, which was meant to be an apology video where he was just looked like he was on his bed, had the camera, he wasn't taking it real serious, and he started saying, well, man, I wasn't talking about those gays, I was talking about not my fans and not the nasty gay. Like, I'm like, bro.
He made it worse.
And then I'm like,
he made it worse.
All right, they about to get him out. Like, bro, you made it worse. All he had to do was say, yo, my bad. I was in the heat of the moment. I was just talking my shit. That's what rappers do when they're performing. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I wasn't even targeting it. Because really what he said, the whole AIDS thing was stupid. Didn't even make sense. The whole sucking the D, I mean, in my opinion, that's not necessarily targeted towards LGBTQ. That could have been talking about ladies, like that. I didn't take that as an attack on them, because he could have been talking about women or men, right? So he could have just been, yo, I wasn't even misunderstanding. I apologize. Let's keep it pushing.
Right, he could have just been on, talking about people with STDs,
yeah,
and then left it at that.
Stupid,
but people want to correlate that with LGBTQ, whatever.
I would have just been like, yo, my bad, stupid, my bad.
Yep.
And people would have had to just moved on and forgot about it, and they would have been canceling someone else the next week. I think what put the nail in the coffin was that second video, bro. That second video showed that, oh, you meant to say that. This is how you really think. This is how you feel. You're an idiot. We getting you up out of here. So I think, he fucked up with that second video. He was kind of doubling down, and then maybe a week and a half later, we saw the actual from his publicist, and the professional.
Yeah, he had to get vetted real quick. Like, come on,
apology.
bro, you're messing up your brand right now.
Yeah, like, you getting canceled from shows. All right, now we got to issue a real sincere, because obviously he wasn't sincere. Anyone could see through that apology. It was, but at that point it was too late, man. It was too late. So in my opinion, I think what frustrates me, and I think why the baby could make it about this, is because I think we're getting to a point now where we see that cancel culture is going too far, man. And I think what I'm seeing from it, it's showing a very ugly side of human beings, and I think people want to cancel artists and corporate because they just want to feel like they're in power and they have control over other people's lives and destiny, especially people that are making millions of dollars and are doing well. I think it's just an excuse to be like, all right, all those millions you're making, we're putting an end to that. All that success that you're seeing and flaunting in front of us and showing us, we're putting a stop to that. The people are in control. And I think, and you have these people on the internet that are just negative and just want to see people do bad. And then you also have people that don't really care about certain issues. They just want to chime in and they just want to have something to say.
They just say shit just to say it.
And I think that I'm sick of that shit. Where it's like, bro, let him know. Like, I think I seen Miley Cyrus speak out and say, yo, this is why what you said is offensive to this specific community. But, yo, let's get together. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation so we can educate you. We don't necessarily have to cancel you. But, yeah, it's good to, like, kind of just give you some feedback and insight from our perspective.
And that's fine and dandy right there.
Yeah.
A little education.
A
little apology. On to the next.
Let's keep it moving. To say, all right, now your career that you've worked so hard to build, you're killing the radio, you're on a bunch of songs, now we need to get that out of here. Now you're going to get canceled from all these shows. Now, essentially, we want you to lose everything and be on the street. Your family loses everything. The people that work for you loses everything over some comments. And I get the comments were fucking stupid. The comments were fucking stupid. But people make mistakes, bro. People say stupid shit all the time. People literally say stupid shit all the time. That doesn't mean you should be canceled for it. I think you should apologize. I think you should be educated. But I don't think you should.
Yeah, you just treat it like anything else. Like you make a misstep, you correct it, and move on. Like the whole cancel culture is toxic. I feel like
I think it's
very toxic, and
I think it's needed in certain situations. Very severe.
Well, yeah, like we should have canceled R. Kelly. You know what I mean? Yeah. We should have canceled Bill Cosby.
Right.
Even though he just got out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, like it's necessary in certain instances. But like, yo, the baby. He was just talking.
And you could tell he was just talking. He was literally just talking out his ass. Yeah. He didn't know what the fuck he was saying. He didn't really mean what he was saying. I don't think there was any real malicious intent behind it. He was just talking. And again, if you just gonna talk, you should still be held accountable to what you talking about. But should you be canceled? Nah. I think I'm just more upset with. I think it's just become a trend and a thing people do whenever someone makes a mistake. And I think there's a community on the internet that wait for people to make mistakes so they could be like, all right, pack your shit up, you out of here. And it's just whack.
Yeah, cancel culture is toxic. I'm just through with it. Somebody gonna be canceled tomorrow.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So.
For sure.
It's just a matter of time. But like I said, like, I don't have a problem with your sexual preference at all. You do what you do in your bedroom. But the fact that the letters community can just come out and just decide, we're going to cancel you, we're going to put you out there. Like, yo, like, if that's how it works, then the other communities can do the same thing about the stuff that y'all putting out. You know what I mean? And not to be against anybody specifically, any entity or group, but it's getting a little overboard. It's just a little overboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can cancel the baby. Well, a lot of people want Lil Nas X canceled. But we letting them live. The people who gonna listen and watch him, hey, do y'all thing. I'm not a fan.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit there, he needs to be canceled. I wouldn't advise people to listen and watch that music, especially if you're around children. But
and that's the thing.
It is what it is.
And that's the thing right there. It's like we live in a world with the internet and with YouTube and social media where it's like certain people, artists, personalities, what have you, they're gonna have their little community. They're gonna have their audience. Bro, let those people live. As long as they're not really hurting anyone and taking it too far, let them have their little community in the corner of the internet, and let other people have their community in the corner of the internet. If you want to correct a behavior and have those conversations, that's cool too. But to say, yo, we need you erased from the face of the internet, it's
doing too much.
We doing a little too much at that point. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's really whack when these corporations come in and get behind artists, knowing, especially rappers, knowing they're rappers and they say wild shit and they do wild shit, and their whole brand is just wild on some wild shit. And then as soon as they say something where the mainstream media or the public go against them, they're just like, all right, we got it.
Disposable.
You know what I mean? And they did that in the Verzuz too. I think when I heard when Jim Jones started talking about I'm a Blood, I'm a Nine Trey, all that gangster shit, a few of the sponsors on the Verzuz backed out. But it's like, bro, this is a Verzuz with the Locks and Dipset. What the fuck did you expect?
Right.
They gangsters. Like, so I think that's whack too when like festivals start, saying, all right, you're not. It's like, bro, have some morals and some ethics.
Oh,
because if the public wasn't canceling the baby, he would still perform.
Right.
You just doing it because the public is going against him. So it's like, bro, have a backbone. Just stand with the artist. Like and I get it. Like if an artist is a certain artist and they just say some left field shit, then whoa, that's not what we signed up for. Yeah, we gonna have to pull you. But it's the fucking baby. Like he says wild shit. He does wild shit. You know what I mean? Rappers say and do wild shit.
And that's the thing. Like these corporations, they'll put anybody on the ticker that's popping, but they're not really in touch with the culture. They're not in tune with the artist. Like, yo, did you not know who you were putting as the headliner?
Right.
Have you heard his album?
Right.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like with Dipset, have you not heard his songs before?
Yeah.
Have you not heard their albums?
Right.
So why are you now like, oh, we can't touch that?
Right.
Everybody knew that's what it was.
Right.
So it's like the fact that these corporations have that power, and the power's not in hip hop's hands, it's not in the artist's hands. It's whack.
Yeah.
It's whack.
And I heard, I guess we can go down this rabbit hole in this conversation, but I heard people bring up and say, is it not, how come we don't, why is it okay, and I don't know how I feel about this, but why is it okay, is it, what, time?
Keep on.
Why is it okay for, black men to speak about killing black men or whatever, the violence against black men, or even the violence against black women or the disrespect of black women? Why is that okay? But then as soon as, there's something said about any other community, right? The Asian community, the Jewish community, the LGBTQ community, now there's an uproar and we're looking to cancel this said artist. So I don't know how I feel about that, because it's almost like it could just be like, yo, but it's they could argue, well, it's y'all talking about y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're staying out of y'all business. If that's what you want to do, if that's your culture, do your thing. But if it bleeds over into our community, then we're gonna speak up and say about it, which is understandable. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if that's a valid argument or not, but there is, I say, some level of validity to it. What do you think about that?
I think it all has to do with who owns the company you work for. At the end of the day,
But I think just the public opinion and perception, and because no one bats an eye when we hear nigga this killed nigga, no one bats an eye. But again, when the baby says some shit that comes across homophobic or whatever, now there's an uproar.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically, if Jay-Z made those comments, would they cancel Jay-Z? Could they cancel Jay-Z?
And that's the thing about canceling. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think they would use the terminology cancel, because I don't think you can cancel Jay-Z at this point, but there would be an uproar and backlash.
They would stain him. They would try to stain him.
There'd be an uproar and backlash.
But you couldn't cancel him.
Because he's already certified. He's already minted. The baby's still up and coming. His career is still progressing. Where, yeah, you can cancel the baby. Jay-Z, you can't cancel.
And that's my point. What if somebody like Jay-Z decided he drew a hard line and said this, and this that did offend these people, but he's speaking to us, and you can't cancel him?
I think he would lose business deals for sure.
But he's Jay-Z.
Yeah. But I think that would
somebody's gonna do business with Jay-Z.
Yeah, I think he would. I think that would still affect his career though. But I'm saying
it would have an effect. But the point is you affected me. You put a stain on me, but you can't stop me.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is
like they would have to do like some Michael Jackson type of like major like event to get Jay-Z canceled.
Yeah, I get that. But what I'm saying is there a conversation to be had for there, again, no one says anything when black people talking about killing black people and violence on black people. That's okay. That's promoted and that's pushed by the music industry, right?
Mm-hmm. Which black folks don't own.
But then when again you're talking about another community outside of the black community, and it's perceived or it is offensive, now we have something to say about it. Is that does that make sense? Is that okay? Is that valid, or is that is that hypocritical? I don't know.
I don't know. We just probably don't have like a. We just don't have like a upper. How could I explain that? Say if hip hop is what hip hop is, do black people as a culture, hip hop as a culture, have like a upper management, so to speak, to be like, hey, we get it, it's the culture, wooty wooty woo, but look how we look. Let's move this way instead. I don't think hip hop has upper management. I think our upper management is these other cultures. But we don't have upper management. We just kind of do what we do, and once we step out of bounds, these people from these other cultures who own these companies, then they slap us on the wrist. But we as a culture and as hip hop don't have upper management to kind of guide us and navigate that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think if we did, then like we wouldn't have little stupid shit like the baby. Like, and him, he probably would never said that if somebody was like, all right, like, apologize real quick, but just understand, you're gonna take a hit for this. You're gonna get stained on this one. You're not gonna get canceled. We're not gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
We're still gonna book the shows because we do business with them, and those people are part of the culture. You know what I mean? But it's like because we're not in those levels of upper management when it comes to just the game of hip hop.
Yeah.
That power is in somebody else's hands. Like he gotta apologize. It's at his mercy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like if like say like KRS-One was like he had his own thing. You know what I mean? And all these OGs like instead of like being left in the dirt and they're just like, oh yeah, these are the golden era of hip hop, but they still live in the hood type shit. But they were in these positions of power because they started it. You know what I mean? So they can kind of guide hip hop.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like getting on the internet on YouTube and trying to just say what they say and hopefully somebody hears it.
Yeah.
If they were in positions of power to kind of guide us and had, relationships and deals with the radio, with whomever, with other companies that they probably owned or knew somebody that owned or they did business with back in the 70s and 80s, and it was just built up from there. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z started in the 90s. And he's the top of the top.
Right.
But realistically, in like the real world, the people who were doing it in the 70s and 80s should be at the top of the top. You know what I mean? It should just kind of be like a ladder of kind of like a full, like everything should go full circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if something like that, some type of mechanism like that where the OGs were involved and above like governing hip hop when it comes and also protecting hip hop from these other groups and other corporations trying to profit off of hip hop, I think stuff like this wouldn't happen.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I think hip hop is such a big genre now though, where it's like it does bleed into other groups and genres or other areas of music, and the audience is wide, but then again you do have other groups controlling other parts of the industry, whether it be radio, whether it be, you know, venues and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, you got to be careful who you offend sometimes, and that's just within any industry or business, because you piss off the wrong people, then that's gonna cost you your career. That's anywhere.
Yeah, that's the reality of it now.
That's the reality of life. So
just kind of like, you know, now like in sports, like we're starting to get, you know, the Michael Jordans, the Dwayne Wades, the Shaqs of the world that are starting to own or be minority and majority owners of teams.
Yeah.
So it's like now the ownership and the players, it's not like a hard line. Now that line is blurred because Jordan, Dwayne Wade, Shaq, they know what it's like to be a player, but now they're upper management. So
right.
Now they can kind of guide the players in this industry of sports instead of like being at the mercy of these billionaires that just own it and they stay owner, player, owner, employee type of thing.
Yeah.
So if we had more of that in hip hop, I feel like that it would just be better off.
Mm.
So, but one day that's gonna happen.
One day, man, one day. But what you thinking? Is that a wrap? We cover everything?
I'm gonna think that's a wrap, brother.
That is a wrap on episode 14, Driving While Black. We just wanted to make this one a little more fun. Talk a little hip hop, you know, and shout out our billionaires, Kanye, Riri, all that good stuff, and the baby, man. Hopefully you make it back from this, man.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you recover,
Hopefully you recover, man. Let's get rid of this cancel culture. I ain't feeling it. I ain't liking it. Again, I do think he should be held accountable for what he said. It'll be cool to see him, you know, get with some people and learn and educate, but I don't think he should be canceled for it.
Negative.
And,
he'll be all right.
He'll be all right. And shout out to Locks, man. Jada, top 5 Dead or Alive, man. That's my favorite rapper, man. Top 3. Shout out to the Locks. Dipset, man, you gotta do something to redeem yourself. Jewels, you look crazy.
I think Jim Jones is too worried about that Capo coin. He wasn't worried about the Verzuz.
Capo coin, man.
He was worried about his cryptocurrency and not about his the reason why he got in the game in the first place.
Right. But
bars.
Shout out to Dipset too, man. Y'all let us down a little bit, but man, they you know, we can't forget what Dipset did for the culture. So shout out Dipset, man. But that's another episode, Driving While Black. Thank y'all for riding with us once again, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Peace.